Our first project is this silver 1985 Chevy Corvette. It definitely needs some work on the engine. There's some paint work and scratches that need to be done. There's some scratches there. It is the two-port injection. The interior definitely needs to be gone through. Carpets, upholstery, seat, some items in the dash, and whatnot. But outside of that, it's a pretty solid vehicle. The engine needs some work. Here we have some parts that have already come in for it. Needs a new antenna, of course. Doesn't want to work. Minor cosmetic items like the emblems, the shields. Definitely some scratches here or there. The rims, though, the previous owner sent the rims out to get cleaned up and redone, and they look fantastic. But the engine work that we're going to be doing today has to do with the air pump and the valve cover gaskets that need to be replaced. And it does have Evans coolant in it. Like I stated, we're going to be removing the air pump. It's got a bad bearing in it. And we're going to be doing the valve cover gaskets. Outside of that, the engine looks pretty darn clean. Very few leaks that I can see. Looks like it's had its injectors redone to the Bosch ones. It looks like it's got a new distributor because they don't normally come in blue. Yeah. So we're going to be getting this going here in a second. And I'm going to be putting the camera up on the roof, aimed down, and we'll get this squared away. So, in order to get the valve cover off on this side, we do have to take off the air pump, which is good that I have to replace it anyway. We have to loosen the bracket to the alternator, remove the air pump, remove the spark plug cables from this side, remove the PVC valve right here, and slide the injector harness a little out of the way so that we can lift up and remove the valve cover on this side. On the other side, we just have to remove the PCV valve, move the injector harness off to one side, and then we should be able to get the valve cover off at that point, once we get everything moved off to one area. And then we're going to go from there. Alright, so right now we're going to loosen the drive belt. I got a breaker bar here. I'm going to stick it in the belt tensioner. Move it over and break it off of them. Over there. Release the tensioner. Get my breaker bar out of there. So that I'm not wasting away the battery. Plug that. And then disconnect the battery negative terminal here. What do we got? For the standard nut. That's the problem. Looks like I have to take this up. Get off. This is Now, in order to get the valve cover off, it looks like I got to take this bracket off. Right there, there, and there. Huh. Wow, they make this a pain in the butt. Now, I might be able to, but it looks like there's like barely any room back there. Yeah, there's barely any room back there to push it back to get over around that. So that's gotta come on. Awesome. So what happened was I found out that the valve cover bolts were loose on all 8 of them. So I tightened them. So I'm going to test that to see if it still leaks. I was able to get the new air pump in, and it's all bolted in along with the frame that it goes on. The alternator's tightened up. They all have all anti-lock, anti-seize on them. So that's all good. And hold on. Alright, so with that done, all the tools cleaned up, it's time to put the belt back on. And in order to do that, use the breaker bar, move that, make sure, go underneath that, and up, and over that, all the way down to the alternator, and make sure everything's lined up nice, nothing's binding. Good. Alright, well, took up the battery. See what happens. Done. Okay, let's see. See if that fixed the massive squeakiness.